What's up, everyone? Sean CountBlagorath here with an album review, this time of the 2012 Unique Leader Records release of Never to Dawn by Beheaded. If you're not familiar with Beheaded, they are a 5-piece death metal band hailing from Malta, and these dudes know how to bring it. When it comes to brutal death metal, especially nowadays, it doesn't get much better than Beheaded. I have listened to their previous works, and I thought they were excellent. I felt like they could be something a little bit more, and they had a lot of potential behind them, and with this album, they have done it. They have shown their potential, they've used their potential, and they have made what I would consider to be an amazing brutal death metal album. Now, for some people, if you're not a fan of brutal death metal, you're not going to dig this. Is it slightly generic? You could say that. There's a lot of brutal death metal that's along the same lines as this, but with that said, these dudes play it well. And what makes them stand out to me is the fact that you can actually remember the riffs and actually have them stuck in your head. They're actually catchy riffs instead of just being focused on the straight up brutality and crushing nature of brutal death metal. They decided to take it one step further and actually make it memorable, which is very nice and refreshing, because I find a lot of brutal death metal to be relatively forgettable. I mean, there's some good stuff here and there, and it's fun for a listen, but nothing to really, make you come back to the album. And with this, they give you a reason to come back to it, because it's just so damn catchy. The riffs range from, as I said, extremely catchy, kind of melodic at times, where you'll sit there and you'll just kind of hum along with it and it'll eventually be stuck in your head, to these ridiculously heavy, technical, really crushing sort of brutal death metal riffs that bands such as Cannibal Corpse and Suffocation use a lot in their music. And these guys utilize that, and they do it well, because they actually make it so it's memorable, which is really shocking, because for me, I find a lot of brutal death metal to be something that you just listen to one time and it's good and it's entertaining, but there's nothing to really draw you back. This has a lot to bring you back to, and when it comes to the guitars, man, the riffs are just amazing. I love the riffs, and the tone itself, the sound of the guitar, sonically speaking, is what I would consider to be a perfect death metal guitar tone, especially for brutal death metal. It has a little bit of muddiness, just a tiny bit, and in my opinion, that's what you need. I hate overly clean guitar. I love just really crushing sounding, low, dirty sounding death metal guitars, and that's what this sounds like. And I really like that, and it works really well for not only the riffs, but the solos. The solos are just amazing, and once again, they're memorable, and I'm shocked by that, because I find a lot of brutal death metal to be just something you kind of forget about, and death metal in general is just kind of forgettable. This, on the other hand, is really good. I wasn't expecting to love this as much as I do. The bass, it's very warm. It's not too flat. It has a kind of a flat sound to it, which kind of bothers me a little bit, but that's just nitpicking. Sonically, it sounds pretty damn good. It fits in the music really well. And the bass, it's being utilized to its full potential, and I really like that. It doesn't detract itself too much from the music, and it doesn't cause a distraction, but with that said, it sticks with the music enough to add a new depth and a new level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just adds more depth to the music. It adds a little bit more punch to it. It makes it more interesting to listen to, and that's a great thing to hear. Drum-wise, the drummer is absolutely phenomenal. His double bass is really fast. He's very good when it comes to his blast beats and thrash beats, and just some very creative fills and some very good patterns. I really enjoy a lot of the kick drum patterns. They go very well with the riffs. It's not too distracting in the music. It just sounds really good. And from a sonic standpoint, I think the drums sound pretty good. The kick might be just a little too clicky for my personal taste, but that said, it still sounds pretty damn good, especially for a somewhat clicky kick drum. I like it a lot. Vocal-wise, amazing. Their vocalist, Frank, is just a beast. And his vocals are still understandable yet brutal. And that's something I like, is a vocalist where you can understand what he's saying. And he pronounces every word so well. And that's something I love about this album. Not too much of an insane range, but what he does well. And I gotta give him really, really high props for that, because they sound really good. And lyrically, just really awesome stuff. This is an album that I really recommend you all pick up and check out. For a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. This is some very good stuff. I recommend you all check it out and give it a listen. This is some really, really, really good stuff. If you're wanting to get into brutal death metal, I'd recommend this to you. Just great stuff. Giving it a solid 8 out of 10. That's my review. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.